All right, Gamecock fans, let's talk about it. We talked about it during the game last night, live. In case you guys missed it, I want to thank everyone. We have 46,000 views on our live stream last night. Great. Gained over 100 subscribers. Thank all you guys that watch the videos, watch the live stream, help support the channel. Couldn't do it without you guys, and it's really humbling when things like that happen. Appreciate everyone. Now, let's talk about this team. And I'm going to try to do this without being boring and just explain it in the simplest terms I can explain it. I've been on X and everybody's blowing up today. Fire Shula, fire this guy, fire Shane Beamer. It's a little bit late in the season to fire anybody right now. To be honest with you, I don't see any moves being made. Maybe they get rid of Shula. It's a bye week. Other than that, I just don't see South Carolina making any moves. Is there a possibility that South Carolina moves on from Shane Beamer? Is it a possibility that Shane Beamer moves on to Virginia Tech or somewhere else? I'm not Jeremiah Donati. I can't make that decision. All I can tell you is some of the folks that I talk to are very upset, and they are connected into the football team. Let's just put it that way. They're upset that they feel like they were lied to about the program, the direction of the program. They were sold a bill of goods that's not true, and it's not happening with this program. It will come out later. There will be a time this is discussed with some people in the know. Until then, y'all just hang with me. There's just some things that can't be talked about right now. Let me explain. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe. I'm going to explain it in an old man version because I'm an old man. But I'm going to explain what's going on in simplest terms I can explain it. Someone that's been around businesses, worked on race teams that closed doors because of bad management. Anyone that's watched NASCAR long enough sees how race teams change hands, how a lot of race teams have disappeared and closed doors. Normally balls back to bad management. The crew guys, the guys that work on the car, hey man, the cars are all the same. Just so you know that. But some teams have more money. They can buy better engineers. They can spend the money on research that a lot of teams can't. But at the end of the day, most race teams that close down, it goes back to bad management. And it's the same thing with a football team. Everybody wants to go straight at Mike Shula. He needs to be fired. He's done this. He's just a soldier. He's just a soldier. The guy that allows all this stuff is Shane Beamer. Nobody wants to get to the head of the snake. Everybody either wants to chop off the tail, take a piece from the middle. Nobody wants to go to the head of the snake. The head of the snake is responsible for this. He's the manager. So let me explain it this way. And everybody will understand this because we've been through this. If you go to a restaurant and you get served bad food, do you blame the server? Do you blame the cook? Do you blame the manager? Or do you blame the restaurant itself, the owner? Well, me personally know that I've seen everybody calls for the manager. They may complain to the server that their food is bad. But eventually the manager shows up at the table or you go find the manager about the food or the service. You never go to the cook, right? I've never seen anybody walk in the kitchen at a restaurant and go bitch to the cook. You know why? Because maybe he's a bad cook. I don't know, but you never see anybody walk in the kitchen and just bitch at the cook. Unless you're watching Restaurant Impossible or something on TV. But it starts with the management of the place. And maybe you can say, well, maybe it's the owner. But say we got a new owner now. The owner that hired the manager, the cook, and the server no longer owns the restaurant. The new owner comes in, has a staff in place, says, hey, things are working okay right now. The restaurant did some good numbers last year. The year before it was down. It did good numbers last year. So I'm going to leave things as is. But then the cleaned up management and everybody that put more effort in because they didn't want to lose their job, all of a sudden, it got worse. Right? Things started going down. What does the owner do? Where's he going to go? He's not going to go fire the server. He's not going to go fire the cook. He's going to the manager. Shane Beamer's the manager of this football team. He is. He's the one that makes the ultimate decision when it comes to what coaches he hires, what the analyst that's on this football team, the decisions of just weight training. He hires Luke Day. Our offensive line looks like they ain't never lifted a weight in their life hardly. They get pushed around. They got pushed around on plays last night by 2 defenders. We gave up 6 sacks again. You can say, well, Sellers held the ball too long. The kid's trying to make plays. He's trying to be a hero for his football team and for the fans. He's going to make mistakes. We still forget how young this guy is. You can look across the field at Chambliss, who's been tearing it up all year, and he wasn't any better than Lenoir was in the game last night. Ole Miss fans could sit here and say the same thing about their offense last night. It wasn't the greatest. They ran the ball well. They had one big long run by Lacey late in the game. Our defense worn out because the offense can't stay on the field and can't score. Lenoir Sellers didn't drop a pass that hit Nick Harbor in the chest. I'm just, there's plenty of blame to go around if you want to start pointing fingers, but when you start pointing fingers, you better start pointing up to the man in charge. He is in over his head. We have talked about this. The man is in the ocean with a little pair of swimmies on, and he doesn't know how to fix it. He can say we're going to fix it. He can say as many times as he wants to, well, it starts with me. Well, you haven't changed anything but an O-line coach that you should have changed last year. So how are you fixing it, Shane Beamer? Because what we see every week is the same repetitive bullshit. Yeah, you threw in some little trick plays. You tried to open up the offense a little bit too late. Where was this at the beginning of the season? So you look at the big picture. Mike Shula's been awful since taking over as offensive coordinator. We haven't developed. You guys tell me a homegrown player outside of Lenoir Sellers and Dylan Stewart that has made a huge impact on this football team. That when you look around college football, there's people pointing the finger, that guy's really good. That guy's really good. That guy's been well developed. Name one on this football team. Maybe Jalen Kilgore. You had a really older and developed football team last year. And we think, well, defensively, most of those guys were defense. Well, you had some guys on offensive line, but offensive line still sucked, man. We gave up over 40 sacks. We were one of the worst in college football last year, and that hasn't gotten any better. And we expect in 3 weeks that Sean Elliott can turn around 3.5 years of awful offensive line development. You can't. That dude might as well try to part the Red Sea as to think he can turn this offensive line around in 3 weeks when for 3.5 years Shane Beamer has let this shit happen. I get at a loss of words for what this football team is because I can't explain it because there is no identity to it. What does South Carolina do best? Somebody please tell me. We say it's defensively and we create turnovers, right? But is that how you're going to live and die? I just don't understand the fact of continuously just beating our head against the wall. Continuously, all of us that cover South Carolina and want to get on here and make videos have to keep beating the same thing over and over because we're seeing the same thing over and over. Do you think we don't want to break out with some new material and some new things to talk about? But we can't because this team is stuck. It is. I know a lot of you guys love songs and you put songs on repeat and the same song plays over and over and over. That is a torture tactic for the U.S. military. I don't know, other militaries. That is a torture tactic to make someone listen to something over and 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 over. Shane Beamer's put a torture tactic on the South Carolina fan base by making us watch the same thing over and over and over and over and over. You can break down all the film you want to. You can look at all this other stuff that a lot of people like to get out here and do. We pay big money for coaches and analysts and professionals that are supposed to be doing this. If I have an analyst or a coach that's running around on X or YouTube listening to people break down tape for me, fire the whole damn group. Fire them. That's people do that. They do that for the fans. They're not. If I find out that an offensive coordinator or offensive assistant or any offensive analyst has been on YouTube or Twitter listening to some guy break down film, you are automatically fired. I will walk you out the door personally and hand you a pink slip because you get paid to do that. And you got somebody out here that can't get paid doing it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know why fans can't see it. We can't move our egos out of the way to understand Shane Beamer's not the guy. He's not taking us to championships. Oh, well, give him one more year and let him hire an offense coordinator. Who in the flying hell is in a secure job and making a name for themselves as an offensive coordinator is going to come to South Carolina understanding that Shane Beamer may only be around a year? And do we even know that Shane Beamer can hire anyone? Because all we really know is he hires his buddies, his friends, or someone he has a connection with. I mean, I don't see any... Who in our coaching staff was anybody out here beating the door down to take away from South Carolina? Maybe Clayton White's got some phone calls. I'll guarantee you Torian Gray's fielded some phone calls, but South Carolina plays him well. Outside of that, name a coach on our staff that anyone thinks any other team in the Power 4 is making phone calls to hire. I mean, I love Mike Fury's enthusiasm, but did he make a critical mistake by not saying, hey, we need to get a wide receiver out of the portal? We need to find some experienced guys? Right now, that looks like a rookie mistake, right? We know we have young talent, but they've never played in college, and they're playing in the SEC. I don't even know where to go with this. I just don't. It's so hard to describe what we watch every Saturday, and I feel the frustration, and I feel everyone's pain, and I read what you guys are saying out there. But I think you're looking at the obvious. Like, the most obvious thing is always not the truest thing, right? So the obvious is play calling's bad, Sellers hadn't played well. These are all the obvious things. But this has been this way. We have seen this. We saw it through Marcus Satterfield. The same thing happened. Remember, we lost to Florida, went into a bye week, looked like some changes was made. Somebody might have been calling plays that wasn't Satterfield. Supposedly everybody comes back, no, it was Satterfield. Dude, the Leopard don't change their stripes overnight. It just doesn't happen. Well, we felt after Alabama. Now, we got to give Alabama some credit. We were their fifth game. They had played 4 ranked opponents ahead of us. If we went through that, we would look at our team and say, man, that's going to be that's kind of a trap game right there. We played well. Last night we looked at it, we tried to open it up, and it looks like we may have stole some plays by watching Ole Miss film. Hey, look what they do. They open it up, they try this, we try that. South Carolina tried some of that stuff. Here, your players aren't used to it because we haven't done it. We're throwing in plays in a week. These guys haven't repped some of this stuff, and you want them to be good at it? Well, they're paid now. They should be a professional. Yeah, they get 20 hours a week, dude. You heard Beamer say it. He gets 4 hours a day with the players. The coaches get 4 hours a day with the players. That's all you get. This ain't the NFL where you can throw in plays and they can rep it how many hours out of a day they want to, how many days out of the week they want to. It's different in college football. But people need to wake up. You need to open your eyes, and you need to start looking at the top. The top is the manager. And if you're the new owner, your name is Jeremiah Donati, and you're the new owner of this restaurant, and your manager's failing you, you're not going to fire the server, you're not going to fire the cook, you're going for the manager. Anyway, I love all you guys. Hope you have a wonderful, peaceful rest of your Sunday. That's my spiel for today. It is the Lord's Day. Please like, subscribe, share the channel. Peace.